Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Śrimad Bhāgavatam 4.4.12. Doshan Padesham Hi Guneshu Sadhavo Prananti Kechin Na Avadrisho Vija Unams Cha Algun Bahuli Karishnavo Mahattamas Teshu Avidad Bhavan Agham. Actually, would someone else like to chant the verse? Yeah.
Doshan paresham hi guneshu sadhavo. Doshan paresham hi guneshu sadhavo. Chinna bhavat drishodvija. Vinanti ke chinna bhavat drishodvija. Nam safalgun bahuli karishnavo. Nam safalgun bahuli karishnavo. Mahattamaste bhavan agham. Doshan paresham hi guneshu sadhavo. Vinanti ke chinna bhavat drishodvija. Gunam savalgun bahuli karishnavo. Mahatmaste Jayadvaita. Doshan paresham hi guneshu sadhavo. Vinanti ke chinna bhavat drishodvija. Gunam savalgun bahuli karishnavo. Namaste Swami. Doshan paresham hi guneshu sadhavo. Vinanti ke chinna bhavat drishodvija. Nam savalgun bahuli karishnavo. Mahatmaste Swami. Doshan paresham hi guneshu sadhavo. Vinanti ke chinna bhavat drishodvija. Nam savalgun bahuli karishnavo. Mahatmaste Swami.
The word for word. Hare Krishna.
Doshan, false. Paresham, others. He, for. Guneshu, in the qualities. Sadhavaha, sadhus. Prinanti, fine. Kechit, some. Na, not. Avadrishaha, like you. Vija, oh, twice born. Nan, qualities. Cha, and. Falgun, small. Bahuli Karishnavaha, greatly magnified. Mahattamaha, the greatest persons. Deshu, among them. Avidat, fine. Bhavan, you. Adham, fault.
Twice-born Daksha, a man like you can simply find fault in the qualities of others. Lord Shiva, however, not only finds no faults with others' qualities, but if someone has a little good quality, he magnifies it greatly. Unfortunately, you have found fault with such a great soul. Purport. King Daksha is addressed here by his daughter, Sati, as Dvija, twice born. Twice born refers to the higher classes of men, namely the Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, and Vaishyas. In other words, a Dvija is not an ordinary man, but one who has studied the Vedic literature from a spiritual master and can discriminate between good and bad. Therefore, it is supposed that he understands logic and philosophy. Sati, Daksha's daughter, put before him sound arguments. There are some highly qualified persons who accept only the good qualities of others. Just as a bee is always interested in the honey in the flower and does not consider the thorns and colors, highly qualified persons who are uncommon accept only the good qualities of others, not considering their bad qualities. Whereas the common man can judge what are good qualities and what are bad qualities. Among the uncommonly good souls, there are still gradations, and the best good soul is one who accepts an insignificant asset of a person and magnifies that good quality. Lord Shiva is also called Ashutosh, which refers to one who is satisfied very easily and who offers to any person the highest level of benediction. For example, once a devotee of Lord Shiva wanted the benediction that whenever he touched someone on the head, that person's head would at once be separated from his trunk. Lord Shiva agreed, although the benediction asked was not very commendable, because the devotee wanted to kill his enemy. Lord Shiva considered the devotee's good quality in worshiping and satisfying him and granted the benediction. Thus, Lord Shiva accepted his bad qualities as magnificently good qualities. But Sati accused her father, "You are just the opposite." Although Lord Shiva has so many good qualities and no bad qualities at all, you have accepted him as bad and found fault with him. Because of your accepting his good qualities to be bad, instead of your becoming the most exalted soul, you have become the most fallen. A man becomes the greatest soul by accepting the goodness of others' qualities, but by unnecessarily considering others' good qualities to be bad, you have become the lowest of the fallen souls. Om Jnana Timidandhasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurn Militam Jina Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Tadhati Shapadantikam Vandehang Shri Guru Shri Jutapada Kamalang Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raganatan Vitam Stam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savatutam Vijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Shahagana Lolita Sri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kamshana Gaurangi Radhe Brindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hori Priye Vancha Kolpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindho Bhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Prabhuji, can I ask you a favor since you haven't sat down yet? Could you drop into the kitchen and tell my assistant Jagannath Sutta that I won't take breakfast this morning? Thank you. Doshan Paresham Hi Guneshu Sadhavo Grunanti Ke Chinna Bhavadrishodrija Gunams Chapalgun Bahuli Karishnavo Mahatmas Teshvavidad Bhavan Agham. So Sati, criticizing her father, brings forward a contrast which becomes an analysis here of how we see others. Paresham means others. Doshan means faults. Kalir dosha nite raja. Dosha means faults. And guneshu, in their qualities. So how do we see the faults in others' qualities? Sadhavo grinanti kechin na. A highly elevated person, the most elevated person, doesn't see anybody's faults. He just sees good qualities. Raghunath Das Gopal Bhatta Goswami, I think. Either Raghunath Bhatta, Raghunath, maybe Raghunath Bhatta. He wouldn't hear about the bad qualities of the Vaishnavas. Raghunath Bhatta wouldn't hear about it. All I know is that the devotees are all engaged in the service of the Lord. That's it. Don't tell me about their bad qualities. They don't have bad qualities. That was his policy. And an exalted person just sees the good in others. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur discusses this. Well, we'll come to that discussion. But then on the other side, there are those who only see bad qualities. Whatever there is, it's a fault. He's this, he's that, he's this, he's that. They can go on and on about the bad qualities of others. That's what they see. According to their consciousness, someone sees only good qualities, someone sees only bad qualities. And then those in the middle discriminate between good and bad. Yes, some good qualities, some bad qualities. They analyze. Dvija Daksha, as a learned person, at least should have been able to discriminate and see where there were good qualities and bad qualities, and not only see bad qualities. But he's so fallen, he only sees bad qualities. He goes on and on about it. So then we come to Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. He has an interesting discussion of this. Those who of good conduct, sadhu. Sadhu means, one meaning is a person whose conduct is good, a sat. Accept even faults in others, since the faults can eventually be transformed by certain methods into good qualities. Then he gives an example. Speaking harshly is a bad quality, but because it can be for someone's benefit, it becomes a good quality. Like neem juice, which cures sickness, though it is bitter. So we have that. Someone's mean, but the meanness can be used for Krishna. Someone's harsh, but the harshness can be used for Krishna. Someone's this or someone's that. But it can be used. Someone's always thinking of money, always thinking of money. But that can be used. It's like Prabhupada appointed his first treasurer, Gargamuni, and Prabhupada called him Gargamuni. He's always thinking of money, or thinking so much of money. So, yes, that's bad quality, but when used for Krishna, it's very good quality. To be stingy, that's a very bad quality, but for a treasurer, it's a very good quality. So a saintly person or person of good conduct, he'll just see good qualities. Even if there's a bad quality, he can become good. Lord Shiva saw this Vrikasura. Maybe the benediction's not to the point, but he's doing tapasya, he's worshiping me. All right, see the good side. See the good. That's a sadhu. He manages to find, or he finds, or he automatically sees good qualities. Wherever he goes, he'll see some good. Just like Prabhupada, these hippies, they're all nonsense, rascals, fools, drug addicted, woman hunters, so many things, dirty. But they don't have much attachment for family life. And some good quality. They're a little interested, and they're not so attached to family life. So Sati says the best person sees the good qualities and magnifies the good qualities. That's the art of a saintly person. He finds out some good quality and magnifies it, just like you find a little spark. And if you're expert, the little spark you can turn into a fire. But if you overlook the little spark, there's no fire here, nothing. You'll get nothing. So an expert person can find, what is that, Chanakya Pandit? Viratna Dushkaladapi. The person who has good vision, he'll find a pitcher of poison and he'll find nectar. From the pitcher of poison, he'll take the nectar. And he'll take wisdom even from a person, what is it, ugly or born in a bad family like that? Born in a bad family, right? Low class. He's low class, but we don't care. He knows the science of Krishna, we'll hear from him. And there was another one. Yes, he'll take gold from a filthy place. And it may be a filthy place, but there's some gold there. Let's take it. And Sriratna Tushkaladapi. And maybe she comes from a bad family, but if she's just like a jewel, let's take her. Why do we have to dwell on what family, this, that? Take the good. So That's the advice of Chanakya Pandit, to see the good. So Sati sarcastically addresses Daksha as a Brahmin. Dvija, you're not like that. Oh, Dvija, oh, twice born expert Daksha, you're not like that. Persons like you think that the good qualities will turn into faults. You think that someone who wants to help others will become greedy for their assets. That's how a person who's not a gentleman, who's a sadhu, not a sadhu, that's how he thinks. He'll find some bad quality. Prabhupada gave the example that there was some lawyers discussing, and one of them says that, did you see Chakravarti's been promoted to the High Court bench? And there's Chakravarti, that guy, that dodo, how could he be promoted to the High Court bench? No, I've seen him, he's sitting there. Oh, then he must not be getting paid. Somehow to criticize. Somehow to criticize. Even if there's a good quality, he sees it as a bad quality, or he sees that it'll become a bad quality. Then there are some, they overlook the faults, they see the good qualities. They see a merchant, he's a materialist, but he takes care of guests nicely. So he's worthy of being delivered. So they praise, they speak about the good qualities, and they don't dwell on the bad qualities. Who was that? Ramchandra Puri? This sadhu was eating sweets. He could have seen so many super excellent qualities in Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but all he could say, oh, this sadhu is eating sweets. Even Chaitanya, because that was his habit, not only Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all the Vaishnavas, and he would bring out their so-called bad qualities. He would invite them for prasad and feed them sumptuously. And then later he would criticize, oh, that sadhu, he ate so big. What kind of sadhu is that? Set him up and then criticize. Well, finally it came to the point, he became so degraded that he criticized Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If you're going to criticize, you'll criticize everybody. Up to the point of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But so some see faults only, overlooking the good qualities. This sannyasi eats rice with ghee to fill his stomach, he's lusty, he should be considered fallen. So there's gradations. He's a sadhu, a sadhutara, a sadhutama. Badly behaved, more badly behaved, most badly behaved. So this is so Sati is saying that Daksha, you're the most badly behaved. Asadhutama. You're the worst. Because when there's a person who's really a sadhu, you criticize him. He's so exalted that he doesn't find fault in anyone else, and you're so rotten that you find fault even in him. So just see what your position is. And Lord Shiva, there's Mahatara, Mahatama. Greater, greatest. He's the greatest because he sees even the faults to be good qualities. And Doesn't even see small faults. And Chakravarti Thakur gives the example. This person's stolen my cloth because he's cold. And though he has a weapon, he doesn't attack me because he's merciful. So he's virtuous. So he can see how even a bad quality, no, that's a good quality. That's the vision of the most exalted person. That's the vision of the exalted person. So Shiva is such an exalted person. If he finds some small good quality, he magnifies it. And the degraded person like you, he sees even a small fault and magnifies it. And doesn't see the good qualities at all. And he gives other such examples. The most exalted person in this world, there are no bad people. Everyone is good. And others in this world, no one's good. Everyone's evil. And Chakravarti Thakur says, according to the amount of sattva or goodness that one has, one is considered sadhu. And he analyzes further the way Prabhupada said 4 kinds of exalted persons, 4 kinds of degraded persons. Question of degree. You find fault even in Lord Shiva, who's affectionate to all beings, who sees no faults everywhere. And you find fault in him because you find fault in the whole world, everywhere. He's the soul of all beings. So by finding fault in him, you're finding fault in everyone. And you offend even the greatest devotees. That verse is there. Tasma unmadanataya nashtashochaya durhite datta bhattamaya sadvi chorite parameshtina. I gave my daughter to this unclean lord of the insane people, this dirty-hearted fellow. Why? Because I was requested by Brahma, Parameshti. That means criticizing Brahma also, his own father. That's you. You're finding fault in Lord Shiva, you find fault in Lord Brahma. So you're the worst. Ati asadhuttama. Ati means exceedingly. And asadhuttama means the worst. Exceedingly the worst. Surpassing the worst. You're the pits. You're the lowest of the low. So in this way, she speaks very strongly about Daksha. All right, any questions, comments? Yes. I'll add something. Those who are preachers succeed by finding the good. They meet someone and they don't think, oh, this guy's a this guy's a that, this guy looks like a this guy looks like a that. No use talking to him, he's a blah, blah, blah. He'll find some good quality and he'll magnify that. And the person responds, yes, someone's appreciated me. Hey, like your glasses. Really? Yeah, where'd you get them? Some good quality. Dresses nicely, got good glasses. He's skinny, he must be like a yogi.
thought that all the devotees are serving Krishna.
Mm.
That's all that I know.
Mm.
So sometimes, or invariably, we see that if opinions have, say, mixed motivations that lead to conflict that ultimately sometimes crosses over the line into illegal activities. So here we movement to secure property here. So how can like kind of compartmentalize?
We have to see the good qualities. Not just, oh, this black-hearted person, this, that. Some good qualities. Oh, they were trying to serve Radha Govinda. Maybe the attempt was imperfect, maybe ill-considered, but they were trying to do something for Radha Govinda. So why should we not see that? Why do we have to rewrite history? And, it's just totally black-hearted person, never did any good anywhere. There's a history of good there. So why should we refuse to acknowledge that? There's some history of good there. They're not devotees? No. Although there may be some difference of opinion, although there may be, what should we say, ill-considered or very ill-considered acts, still they were trying to do something good. So why should we refuse to acknowledge that? If we refuse, then that's not very good for us. No, it's blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it's our duty. We have to defend the property. We have to defend Prabhupada's will. Maybe we sometimes have to fight. Even, what is that? Gurunahatpahi Mahanubhavan. Bhoksham, what's that? Mahanubhavan. Bhoksham Bhaksham. Bhoksham Bhaksham Apiha Loke. Adpartha Kamams to Guruni Haiva. Kunjiya Bhogan Rudirab. These people, Drona, Bhishma, maybe they had some desire for material gain. Guruna, Ihaiva. Even though Advarta Kamams to Guruni Haiva, they were maybe greedy, or they sided with the greedy party, but they're my guru. My guru. Hang Bhishma, Katam Bhishma Mahang Sankhe Dronam Chabhavasudana. Ishupi Pratiyotyami. Pujar Havarishuna. Why am I going to shoot arrows at Bhishma and Drona? I should be sending flowers. I should be offering flowers to them. I should be worshiping them. How can I fight them? Therefore, Prabhupada said he was an eligible candidate for understanding the message of Bhagavad Gita. He wasn't a mean-hearted person. A great soul, Arjuna. Maybe also he had the wrong idea, let me leave the battlefield. That wasn't his duty. But he could see, oh, these are great souls. Drona, Bhishma. What is it? After Kurukshetra, still Yudhisthira Maharaj kept the Drona and others as, not Drona, he was finished. Who was I thinking of? Anyway, kept them in important positions afterwards. Not Bhishma, not Drona, they were killed. So, to see the good quality. Lord Ram, when Vibhishana is ready to join him, Hanuman, of course, this is Leela. Hanuman said, no, don't trust him. No, he's surrendering to me. I'm going to accept him. So, and in that way, even to take a good quality and a very bad character, take Duryodhana, envious, so many things. But when Karna displayed his valor in military competition, then Duryodhana recognized he's extraordinary. He's not a king. All right, I'll make him a king. Angaraj. He appreciated that. How could he not be a Kshatriya? Look at him. Look at what he can do. I accept him. And as a result, Karna became so indebted to Duryodhana. And even Karna, although he acted wrongly also, he had his good qualities. He was so generous. He was prepared to part with armor built into his body to honor his vow of giving charity. Great person. And a great person. And then there's the other side, but still a great person. Alexander, who was it? He had his nemesis. Forgotten his name. Another king. They were always at one another. Anyway, finally, that king irks me. I can't remember. Who else? No. Darius. Thank you. Darius. Darius was his nemesis, always had him. Finally, Darius was killed. Alexander wept. Where will I find another opponent like this? Where will I find another opponent like this? Appreciate it. Yes.
Two things I'd like to say. One thing is regarding children, Prabhupada said, tell the boy he is a good boy.
Mm.
Even if the child is a bad boy, tell him he is a good boy.
Mm.
The other thing was that at the Kumbh Mela in 1977, some leaders, they went into Prabhupada's tent with the details of a very serious offense that one devotee had committed. Tempers were running very high, and they were demanding this person's expulsion, his complete excommunication. And they were insisting on this several times. Srila Prabhupada thought for a moment, and then he said, if a person had to leave because he had some fault, none of you would be here.
Mm.
So everyone was silent and they just hung their heads. And then Srila Prabhupada talked at some length of Jagai Mata and how outrageous they were. Lord Chaitanya had unlimited mercy to rectify the fallen. And Prabhupada went on about this for some time to the details of it. But then Srila Prabhupada concluded, however, if a person does not want to become purified, there's no question he should leave.
He has to leave.
No
Yeah.
question. He does not want to become, if he had some fault, none of it would be here without fault. But if he does not want to become purified, no question, he should.
Yeah. Nice examples. It's not to be taken sentimentally that I'm the temple president. All right, he's robbing the treasury. All right, he's playing with the girls and taking advantage of them. All right, everything's all right. Just see the good. Then you can't be president. Prabhupada is just like Vyasadeva. He couldn't be on the platform of seeing everyone equally because he was a householder. So you have to see the difference between a man and a woman, or you can't be a householder. You can't see all living entities absolutely the same. You have to see the difference. Vidyavani asampanne brahmani kavirastani. Not that because I see all living entities equally, I embrace the tiger. We, as required, we recognize the difference. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu could get the tigers to dance in kirtan with the deer. So we may not be Chaitanya, we aren't Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we can't pretend. And sometimes it's our duty, like the spiritual master has to find fault with the disciples. It's his duty. Father sometimes has to find fault with the children. It's his duty. So as our duty requires, but we should be careful when it's our duty, that we don't become simply critics, that we don't become offenders, that we don't take pleasure in making others miserable or finding the faults in others. We need to be careful because otherwise we can get dragged down. We can get dragged down. I can think of other examples like the one you mentioned. Yes.
And I guess one question and maybe a couple of comments. Is it that which order should I do? Should I do the question first or the comment?
Whichever you like.
Okay.
I make too many decisions.
Okay. Do the question. I guess usually the bad qualities playing fault with your father. Here he was so bad. I guess it was a good quality for her. Is that, would you say that?
Yeah, you could look at this. I was thinking about it. She's saying, the good people see only the good and so on, the best people. So she's not taking the position of the best. She's not taking the position of the best. She's criticizing her own father. You never do that. You never, in a cultured family, the son never criticizes the father. Unthinkable. And yet, Sati's criticizing Daksha up and down. So that's a very bad fault. But because she's doing it in the service of Lord Shiva or in relation to Lord Shiva, it becomes a great quality.
Thank you. That's nice. I think there's a Leela regarding Bhakti Siddhanta that one disciple left his body during Bhakti Siddhanta's time, and these other disciples who wasn't particularly serious and people were saying nasty things about him. But they're doing it right under Bhakti Siddhanta's window. And finding Bhakti Siddhanta's window. Whenever he would go to the arch, he would dress himself so nicely. Because he couldn't tolerate hearing all these bad things that I think he wasn't particularly. He showed that one. Not one, he did his faults. And we were talking about the book distribution. I hardly ever go out. Hardly ever go out at all.
Your microphone is too far down.
Oh yeah,
If you don't mind me criticizing.
I hardly ever go out in book distribution at all. But 1 year.
Hardly ever go out. That means sometimes you go out.
One time in Gainesville, I went out, I was in the parking lot, and there was a guy sitting in his car reading the Bible. And, you think, oh, he's just a Christian. You're the most intelligent person I've seen all day. Everyone is buying stuff for this. That's gratification. Here you are reading the Word of God. So you gave $5 to get SSL.
Yes.
There's a verse that I just like to bring into evidence. This is from Bharti Hari, who's a medieval poet. He writes in his Niti Shataka. Some people perceive the gentle as dull.
A little slowly and clearly.
Yes. Some people perceive the gentle as dull, the strict as pretentious, the honest as hypocritical, the brave as cruel, the reticent as foolish, the soft-spoken as bootlickers, the influential as haughty, the eloquent as talkative, and the steady as unambitious. Is there even one virtue of the virtuous that these fault finders have not maligned?
Last line again.
Is there even one virtue of the virtuous that these fault finders have not maligned?
Yeah. Expert, they can find fault with everyone. So they have some good quality, they're expert. But that kind of expert. Expert in, what is that? Naiskritiko lashaha in the Bhagavad Gita. The quality of ignorance, this is their expertise. Expert in finding fault with others. Yes. We shouldn't be like that. Even they'll find fault in Krishna. Namam, what is that? Avajananti ma mudha, manashim tanamashruta. They'll criticize that, how could he be God? God has no form, God has no qualities. And in so many other ways, the demons would malign Krishna. Prabhupada said envy starts at the top. Yes.
I had a question. As a devotee, we always try to see good in others.
Hmm?
As a devotee, we always try to see good in others. But sometimes the tendency is that, we see a lot of bad things also.
Hmm.
And then it comes in the dealings, when we deal
Something.
it comes, when we are dealing with a person, it comes in that our dealing that,
You're fighting against two problems. Number one, the acoustics here are poor. Number two, I'm half deaf. So you have to speak slowly and clearly. Please.
Maharaj, we see fault in others, and those faults comes while we are dealing with that person.
Those faults come while?
We are dealing, when we are having.
When you're dealing with a person.
How do we?
You have to see, even you can admire someone's trying to cheat you. He's really good at it. He's good at his game. Yes. There was well, I won't tell that story. It's a war story, but it's also good. It illustrates the same point. But you can see, okay, there's something there. He's really good at cheating. Some good quality. Therefore, they're called duskriti. Namam duskritina mudha. Krishna speaks of them very strongly, mudha, naradhama, but at least they have some merit. Kriti. Kritina means person who has merit. Only problem is duskriti. They're misusing their merit. They have it, but they're misusing it. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, if they can be turned around, then their merit becomes merit. Now they're, whatever good quality they have, they're misusing by refusing to become Krishna conscious. being opposed to Krishna consciousness. But still, some good quality. Therefore, the spiritual master or the preacher, he tries to find some good quality. That, all right, some good quality can be used. Sometimes we give up too soon. We become impatient. We're a little more patient, and maybe that good quality will come out. But again, especially those who are in administration or in the position where duty requires, he can't just be sentimental. He can appreciate what a demon. He's really, I was seeing one speech by a politician, and the politician has been criticized for being sort of a dope and being, just making outrageous remarks and so on. And I have no interest in that politician or other politicians, but somehow or other I happened to see a news conference, and I could see he's really good at it. It's all nonsense. It's all for, not for glorification of the Supreme Personality of Godhead by any means, but he's good at his game. He's good at it. So even sometimes, okay, I'll tell you the war story. There was no, I won't tell you that war story, because why do we need to know? But in Kurukshetra sometimes, when there was some opposing Kshatriya, and that Kshatriya would show great valor, both sides would appreciate. Both sides would appreciate. How excellent, how well he fought. They kill him, because that was their duty, but they had to appreciate what a great soldier, what a great warrior. Not that he's on the other side, so he couldn't be any good. No, he's excellent. Died fighting gloriously. Probably in that way. Shall we stop here? Yes. All right. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Gaur Premanande.
Yeah.